Hi folks, Dr. P here. This is Math 20-2 Quadratic Equations, Topic 1, Example 1, 2, and 3 that starts on page 6 in your workbooks. So in Example 1, we are asked to apply the distributive property to expand the following expressions. I'm not going to do A and B, I'm going to go straight to C. So distributive property means that we're going to multiply the 3x into this bracket that contains a binomial. So 3x times 5x is 15x squared. 3x times negative 4 is negative 12x. Don't forget that for terms in polynomials like this, in the bracket we have a binomial, which means we have two terms. The sign in front of a term goes with the term. So the second term in this binomial is negative 4. Let's move on to example 2. I'll do question A and D. Here they want you to identify the greatest common factor for each of the following. So we have 16 and 24. So a common factor here would be 2. Both are divisible by 2, but this is not going to be the greatest common factor. So the greatest common factor for 16 and 24 is going to be 8. Both are divisible by 8. Move on to D here. Here we want to find the greatest common factor of these three expressions. We start by looking at the numerical coefficients. So we have a 2 here, we have a 6, and we have a negative 10. We can factor out greatest common factor would be 2. If we factor out a 2 from 2, we're left with 1. Factor out a 6 from 2 from 6, we're left with 3. And if we factor out a 2 from negative 10, we're left with negative 5. We also have the variable x here, but we have x squared here, we have a single x here, and there is no x here at all, so we cannot factor out that x. Move on to the next example. Here they want you to write a polynomial in factored form using the greatest common factor. So I'm going to do B here. So we need to, in order to factor this binomial, we need to first find the greatest common factor of both of the terms. So if we start looking at the numerical coefficients, we have 4 and 6. Greatest common factor of 4 and 6 will be 2. Then we have variables. We have a x squared in the first term and a single x in the second one, which means there's a single x that's in common between the two terms. So that means we can factor out an x. Once we know what the greatest common factor is, we can factor out the GCF, 2x. And then in brackets, we're going to write down the remaining binomial. So if we remove a 2x from 4x squared, we're left with 2x. And if we remove a 2x from 6x, we're left with a positive 3. So this would be the polynomial in factored form. It is a good idea anytime you factor polynomials to check your answer by going backwards. So this is our answer, but if we expand this, we should get the original expression back. So the way to expand this would be to apply distributive property, so multiplying this back into the bracket. So if we do that and check by expansion, if we do that expansion, 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times 3 is positive 6x. And this is the same as what we started with, so we're good. And that's it. You have the all of those examples here that I did not do in this video. You have them keyed in the keyed workbook that's posted on Google Classroom. So make sure you check that out. If you have any questions, make sure you connect with us during one of our Google Meets, there's a Google Meet every day with a 20-2 teacher, or you can submit your questions using the Google question form that's on Google Classroom. That's going to be a wrap. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and may the math be with you. See ya, folks.